Now comes the secondary growth. Okay, so generally the growth of the roots and stems in length with the help of apical meristem is called the primary growth, while secondary growth is the increase in the girth of the dicot plants. Okay, now secondary growth is absent in monocot, so you only have to learn the secondary growth in dicot, that is in stem and in roots. Okay, so secondary growth is nothing but the increase in the girth of the dicot plant. What do you understand by girth? That is the lateral expansion of the roots. When you will see a older tree, you will find the trunk of that tree to be very huge. Okay, that is the girth of the tree will be more, the width of the tree will be more. So secondary growth is the increases the width of the dicot plants. Now the tissues which are involved in secondary growth are the two lateral meristems, which is the vascular cambium and cork cambium. Okay, so two important tissues which are involved for the growth are the vascular cambium and the cork cambium. Okay, so here you can see that this area, the purple area here, is nothing but the secondary phloem. Okay, and this gives it the secondary growth, and see here the formation of secondary xylem is also there. Okay, so vascular cambium, when we come to the vascular cambium, it is the meristematic layer responsible for cutting of vascular tissues, that is xylem and phloem. In the young stems, it is present in patches as a single layer between xylem and phloem. Later it forms a complete ring. So when we are talking about the vascular cambium, it is a meristematic layer. What do you understand by meristematic layer? That this layer will be capable of cell division and is responsible for cutting of the vascular tissues. Okay, it will be present between the xylem and the phloem. When we talk about in young stem, it is present in patches as a single layer between the xylem and phloem, and later it forms a complete ring. Okay, so here the green part you can see here in every bundle is the vascular cambium, and after that, see here in this diagram, it forms a ring like structure, and now this ring grows here in this diagram and the stem increases in girth. Okay, so it will form a complete ring, and when it forms a complete ring, the ring structure between the two vascular bundle is called interfascicular cambium. It is called what? It is called interfascicular cambium. Okay, so it is the meristematic layer responsible for cutting of vascular tissues, vascular cambium, and it will be cutting, or it will be present in patches as a single layer between the xylem and phloem. See here the green in the bundle. Okay, so this is the bundle. Okay, and this is the xylem and this is the phloem. The upper one is the xylem and lower one is the phloem. Okay, and the green color ring you are seeing here is nothing but the cambium. Okay, vascular cambium. Now what will happen? Now what will happen? See, now what will happen? These kind of vascular cambium will be there. Okay, this is the one vascular cambium, this is the other vascular other vascular bundle, this is the other vascular bundle, this is the other vascular bundles. Okay, the above part is the phloem and the lower one is the xylem. Okay, so it is like this. Okay, assume it is in ring form, and this is the cambium which is present. This is the cambium which is present. Okay, so what it will do, it will form a ring like structure joining all the vascular bundles in this way. So the cambium between two vascular bundles, which is forming a ring like structure, is nothing but the interfascicular cambium. See here, you can see this is what interfascicular cambium. Then this vascular cambium will grow xylem and phloem, and so in this way, and the girth of the plant will increase. Okay. So now comes the formation of the cambial ring. In dicot stem, cells of the cambium present between the primary xylem and the primary phloem. So the xylem and phloem which are formed in early stages of the life of plant are called the primary xylem and the primary phloem is the intrafascicular cambium. Okay, between the primary xylem and primary phloem, the cambium which is present is the intrafascicular cambium. Sorry, intra means inside it is present, and between the bundles it is interfascicular. Cells of the medullary cells adjoining this intrafascicular cambium become meristematic and form interfascicular cambium. Thus a continuous ring of cambium is formed. As I told you, I'll show you once again. If this is the stem, okay, this is the stem, and if this is a stem and these are the vascular bundles, okay, this is the cambium ring which is present between the xylem and phloem. So now this cambium is called intrafascicular because it is present between the primary xylem and the primary phloem. So primary phloem is on the upper side and primary xylem is on the lower side. Okay, it is like this. If I want to show you an individual bundle, it will be like this. This is an individual bundle, and this is the primary phloem on the upper side and primary xylem is on the lower side. And I'm talking about the cambium which is present here. Okay, so now this is called what? This is present between the xylem and phloem, so it is called as intrafascicular cambium. Okay, now this cambium will do what? It will grow because it is having the meristematic functioning. Okay, and the cells which are present between the bundles are the medullary cells. So medullary cells present here will grow, and a ring like structure will be formed like this. Okay, you can see here the black line, and this is nothing but the interfascicular, between the vascular bundles. This was inside the vascular bundle and this is between the vascular bundles. Okay, so this will be the intrafascicular cambium and a continuous ring will be formed. Now how the cambial ring will do its activity after the formation. The cambial ring becomes active and cut off new cells both towards the inner and the outer side. The cells cut off towards pith mature into the secondary xylem. The cells cut off towards periphery mature into the secondary phloem. Okay. Cambium is more active on the inner side as compared to the outer side. As a result, more secondary xylem is produced than the secondary phloem and soon forms a compact mass. Okay, so here you can see in this diagram, once the ring is formed here, okay, there is cutting off of the secondary xylem. So secondary xylem is, this is the red color is the ring. Okay, the red color part is the secondary phloem and the purple part here is a secondary xylem. It will be like this once the ring is formed. Okay, so inside was the xylem and outside was the phloem, primary xylem and primary phloem. So primary xylem will be present inside, and this whole structure which is formed is the secondary xylem because of this cambium ring. Okay, and outside this will be the primary phloem. Okay, and outside that what will be formed? There will be the formation of the secondary xylem, secondary phloem. Okay, so the activity of this cambium ring is more towards the inside. So more secondary xylem will be formed inside and phloem will be less. So here in this diagram you can see all the layers. See, secondary xylem is this purple color part These are the medullary rays present. The spikes you can see in the wheel are the medullary rays. Okay, and this is the red one is the secondary phloem. Okay, and this light red is nothing but the cambium ring. So the activity of the cambial ring will be, the cambial ring becomes active and cut off new cells both towards the inner and the outer sides. The cells cut off towards the pith mature into the secondary xylem. The cells cut off towards the periphery and mature into the secondary phloem. This cambium is more active on the inner side than on the outer side. As a result, more secondary xylem is produced than the secondary phloem and soon forms a compact mass. So a compact mass will be present in between this here. And see, the vascular bundles which were here are now here, and see the growth, secondary growth. So now the primary and the secondary phloems get gradually crushed, okay, due to the continued formation and accumulation of the secondary xylem. As we know that the activity of the cambium ring towards the inner side is more, so secondary xylem will be formed more and more, and due to which there will be a lack of space, and because of that the primary and secondary phloem will crush themselves, okay, due to the continuous pressure. And at some places the cambium forms a narrow band of parenchyma which passes through the secondary xylem and the secondary phloem in the radial direction, and these are the medullary rays. You can easily see here, these are the medullary. Now what is spring wood and autumn wood? Many physiological and environmental factors control the activity of cambium. In spring season, cambium is very active and produces many xylary elements having vessels with wider cavities. Now this wood is called the spring wood. It is lighter in color and has a lower density. Okay, so you can see here, this is the spring wood or autumn wood, because here the cambium is more active and produces more xylary elements, and as we know that xylary elements are hollow, okay, they are used only for the conduction purpose, so it will be light in color and in lower density. So this is called spring wood or autumn wood, spring wood. Okay, now comes the autumn wood. In winter, cambium is less active, okay, and forms fewer xylary elements having narrow vessels. This wood is called autumn wood. Autumn wood is darker in color and has a higher density, okay, because the cavities are very small. These two kinds of woods that appear as alternate concentric rings constitute an annual ring. This is used to estimate the age of the tree. So here you can say that the spring wood is light in color and the autumn wood is dark in color, okay, and these concentric rings which are formed are can be used to estimate the age of the plant because they will come yearly, season wise. Now comes the heartwood and sapwood. Now heartwood is the hard, dead, dark brown colored, highly lignified and non-functional central part of the xylem of the old trees. The dark color is due to the deposition of the organic compounds like tannins, resins, oils, gums, aromatic substances, essential oils, etc. These substances make it hard, durable and resistant to the attacks of microorganisms and insects, and function is mechanical support to the stem. Okay, so Heartwood is hard, dead and dark brown in color and highly lignified and non-functional because of the presence of what? Because of the presence of the compounds, deposition of compounds like tannins, resins, oils, gums, aromatic substances, essential oils, etc. These substances make it hard and durable and resistance to attack from microorganisms. See here, you can see the brown part is nothing but the heartwood, okay, and it gives mechanical strength to the stem. Now what is sapwood? Now sapwood is the peripheral region of the secondary xylem. See here, you can see here the light part, the lighter part, okay. So this is what? This is the sapwood. This is what? This is the sapwood. Now this sapwood is the peripheral region of the secondary xylem. It is living and lighter in color, okay, because conduction needs to be there, and function is it is involved in the conduction of water and minerals from root to leaf, okay. So what we saw that there was a, when we talk about the secondary growth of the stem, we saw that in vascular bundles, we saw here that in vascular bundles there was a presence of intrafascicular cambium, patches of intrafascicular cambium, which with the help of the medullary cells joined, or meristematic cells joined to form a cambial ring. Okay, after formation of that cambial ring, what was there, the activity of cambium was noticed, and that activity of cambium was more towards the inner side and less towards the outer side. So in conjoined vascular bundles, we saw that in the stem that phloem was on the outer side and xylem was on the inner side. So because of the activity of the cambium was more on the inner side, okay, so more amount of secondary xylem was formed and secondary phloem was formed, and as more and more secondary xylem was formed, the primary phloem and the secondary phloem were crushed due to the pressure of this secondary xylem. Okay, however, primary xylem was intact and in or around the center. Okay, also after that the cambium formed the narrow band of parenchyma which passes through the secondary xylem and the secondary phloem, and these were called the secondary medullary rays. We studied two types of wood, that is the spring wood and autumn wood. In spring the cambium is more active, so more xylem elements were formed and they were having wider cavities, so it was light in color and lower density. And autumn wood was the late wood, it was darker in color and higher in density because the cambium was less active and fewer xylem elements with narrow vessels were formed. Now heartwood was a hard, dead, dark brown colored, highly lignified, non-functional central part of the secondary xylem. Okay, and it was due to the deposition of many organic compounds like tannins, resins, oils, gums, aromatic substances, essential oils. Okay, and its function was mechanical support. While when we talk about the sapwood was a peripheral region of the secondary xylem, and it was living and lighter in color, and its function was involved in the conduction of water and minerals from root to leaf. Okay, so this was the secondary growth in stem.